Well, hello and welcome back, and thanks for coming back. Where are we? That's what you're wondering. Well, this is 2 of the Kings Avenue. Which way are we heading? Well, if your name is Miss Ali and your name is Mr. Neil, you probably know we're going in the direction of Peyia. And guess what? This video is going to take us all the way to Peyia. So don't forget to sit the 2 dads down, kick the flip-flops off, pour them a tot or two. Hold on a minute, that's Lord Nigel Big Guns. But pour the boys a tot or two, sit back and relax. 10-15 minutes, we're going to be in downtown Peyia. That's where we're going. The weather is absolutely spectacular. If your name is Miss Dawn, you've got a husband called Mr. Sean, a little cat called Miss Daisy, and a very, very clever dog called Mr. Popo. The weather today is 10:30 in the morning. We're in the middle of June and it is 26 degrees. Wow. I don't think it can get much better than that. The aircon is just chilling me just enough, and I don't think you can hear the fan yet. But of course, as the summer ramps up, well, that fan's going to ramp up. So there's going to be a bit of a whistle, a bit of a whisper in your ear. Downtown, Tomb of the Kings, that's where we are. Restaurant after restaurant, bar after bar. If you want a hire car, if you want a quad bike, if you want a KFC, if your name is Miss Andrea, this could be the street for you. And while you're at it, Miss Andrea, you know, you keep walking that little bit further and you take a left at this little roundabout and you head on into the Tomb of the Kings, the area where you can see some mosaics, some columns, and you can stand by the cusp of the blue Mediterranean Sea and look out into the abyss, the beauty and the spectacality. Of course, you've got to walk back, but luckily for you, you've got a friend called Mr. Paul who came and rescued you, because the bad man known as Mr. Mart, who was probably thinking about his peacock, made you walk all the way from the Dionysus Hotel. A 40-minute walk. What a cruel man. You wait till I see him next time. I'm going to give him a bit of a slap, especially for you, on my bottom. Where are we now? This is the descent, or the ascent, I'm not sure. Are we going uphill or downhill? Technically we're on the flat. What's the word for that? I don't know. Mr. Ian, Google it and drop it into the comments so that we can memorize it and then forget it very, very quickly, because I'm an idiot in a blue hat with a pair of sunglasses who just likes to drive around in a gas-guzzling big old Mercedes, making little videos especially for you. Venus Beach 5-star luxury hotel on the left-hand side. You want a bit of a tour of that hotel? Well, you know what you do. Go into the YouTube search bar, Marika and me, Venus Beach Hotel. Guess what? Up we come. And we got to chat to some fabulous people all the way from downtown Yorkshire right at the end of the video, and they said that that hotel had taken their breath away. Where are we now? Capital Coast. There we go. If you're the heady goods boy, Mr. Craig, that's the special. Shall we? Tell you what, Miss Ali, especially for you, we'll stop at these red lights. Terrible. And then we've got a big black Mercedes next to us, so we're going to flick it into sports mode. Scode mode. We don't drive a Skoda. Oh no. We'll put it into sports mode and we'll give it a bit of a boot, because otherwise, when it all converges, we'll be stuck. There we go. Andrea, especially for you. Let's just see how quick this old girl is. She's pretty quick, to be honest. There you go. Right. What's coming up for a bearing for you? That's the Aspire private British school. If you want to get some education for your littlies, or perhaps if you're like me, tell you what, you pay the fees and I'll book myself in there for 3 or 4 years, take myself back to my childhood, the best time ever, to be honest. I didn't do absolutely anything, just everyone gave me lots of money because I was a boarder in a boarding school and my parents away. Lots of people understand the way it works. Your mum and dad feel very, very guilty indeed, so they just shower you with money and you're allowed to do whatever you want. What wonderful, wonderful years they were. Hold on a minute, my life hasn't changed very much. Anyway, I've had a great life. If I die tomorrow, there you go, I'm gone. I won't regret a single moment. I've had a fantastic life, and everyone we've ever met, I've always had a great time with. Last night we were with 2 superstars, Miss Michaela, oh yeah, and Mr. Paul. We are quite simply waiting for you. You melted our souls when we first met you. You melted our hearts last night. We were so sorry to have to take you back to your hotel, and we're looking forward to doing it all over again. But we know you're not coming back here next time. You're going to go and celebrate your anniversary in November in downtown Alanya on the beautiful Mediterranean Sea. on the Turkish Riviera. And of course, we won't be far away, will we? It's about 250 kilometres. You never know, I might get a canoe and start paddling like crazy, especially to come over and see you. Absolute megastars. She is now called the Daiquiri Girl. So if anyone hears me called the Daiquiri Girl or mention the Daiquiri Girl, I'm talking about Miss Michaela. And one of these days, we're going to go into the cell at the castle. I'm going to pull on the beard of the man known as the priest. He's the cocktail maker, by the way. Twist the arm of Mr. Mike, and we're going to make a special cocktail video for Miss Michaela. And it's going to be a spectacular video. And after that, Mr. Paul, especially for you, oh yeah, I'm going to go make a video on the newly refurbished toilets and, well, make fun of you and myself and everyone else around. And you never know, we might find someone there with a bigger stick than you. You never know. Even with a much, well, bigger, fatter circumference, shall we say. Stop it now, Mr. Paul. This is a family channel. Where are we? Well, technically, I think we're in downtown Clorica. That's where we are. 24-hour market there. If you want a cheap coffee, if your name is Lord, sorry, not a Lord, no, he's higher than that, he's a Baron, yes, Baron John Hawke with a spectacular cheese-eating wife called the Baroness of the Louise, and the singing sensation of a daughter known as Miss Fern, and she's got a keeper, and his name is Mr. Harry. Well, Coffee Me, he told me that's the bargain place to go for a coffee, and one of these days I'll pop in there, Baron John, and spend some of your money, especially on a coffee, especially for me. That's the Leonardo Laura Beach and Splash Resort. So if you want a bit of beach, or you want a bit of a splash, or perhaps you want to steal a croissant or two, that could be the hotel for you. You may notice there's still a bit of dustness in the sky, isn't there? That's not affecting the weather, that's not affecting the temperature, and that's not going to affect your suntan. Because I was on the Paphos Promenade yesterday, sitting with the legend known as Mr. Chris of the Sea Sponge sales fame. I often sit with him, 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, somewhere around there. We're good friends, and he buys me a coffee. See what I'll do for a free coffee, isn't it? And I'll sell sponges all day long for him, as long as he buys me a free coffee. And it's one of the best coffees in Paphos as well. So if you're looking for me, that's where I may be. And of course, yesterday, wow, a blast from the past. I know he's never forgotten us, and we've never forgotten him. He's commented once or twice, but there's a legend, a man that goes all the way back to our beginnings. Good morning to you, Mr. Cock Sparrow. Good morning, Mr. Craig, and good morning to your Miss Lisa. Wow, absolute legends. They accosted me on the downtown Paphos Promenade yesterday, and of course we're looking forward to meeting them again and again and again. Let's keep going. There's a white Land Cruiser with a couple of Gumbarus in. Ooh, there you go. Often they have Land Cruisers which are marked up with B letters that says police, which means, hey, we're the police. And then often they're driving around in unmarked Land Cruisers. But something gives the game away. It's one extra aerial, two men sitting, getting a bit cosy up to each other, and they're in the basic spec, if you understand me. So they stand out a little bit, although they try to blend into the background in their nondescripted chinos and nondescripted t-shirts, but the bulge by their waistline, which is not what you're thinking, it's the gun, tends to give it away when they are standing around at the side of the roads. So there we go. But that means you're quite safe, doesn't it? There's a lot of secret police, there's a lot of undercover police in downtown Paphos, so you can walk around and you can do whatever you want in your bikini or your shorts on the downtown Paphos Promenade, knowing that you are safe and well. And you can even pop in to Sail at the Castle and have a daiquiri or two if your name is Miss Kayla. And of course Mr. Paul, this big fat glass, the massive circumference and a tremendous weight, and you can drink some root beer. I just can't remember what it was called, but don't worry, we're going to get one of those on camera, especially for you in the very, very near future. Where are we now? Downtown Kissimmee. That's where we are. So those of you who are familiar with the routes here, I know James Henry, David Potter, Ali, and Mr. Neil, the two dads. One dad's been here for many, many times, and one dad hasn't. So he's in for a bit of a treat, isn't he? He's going to come down to Paphos. I'm pretty sure that he's going to fall in love with it, just like the other dad. So there'll be two dads, Ali and Neil, all madly in love with downtown Paphos, Peyia in particular, and they now and again come back and watch the odd little video that Mr. Paul makes as he wiggles and he waggles in and around Paphos and talks an absolute, that was posh, talks an absolute load of twaddle. There we go. When I was actually in boarding school, they, I've always spoken, well, I'm going to say I speak a lot of rubbish, obviously, but I think I speak quite well, people have told me. But in the olden days, oh my God, I used to talk like this. I think it was posher than the Queen. So anyway, I dropped that. I remember, funny story for you now. I remember, when was it now? About 1996, somewhere around there. I had an idea to set up a paving company in downtown Cheshire. And I walked into a paving office and spoke to a lady, a lovely lady, and I spoke to this lady and I said, I understand that this business does paving and so forth, and she said yes, and I'd like to speak to the boss because I've got a proposition for him. It's a bit of a life story for you now. So she said, oh, well, if you come back on Saturday, he's normally here. So on Saturday I went down to see him and I walked in and well, I'll give you some background on the story. The lady was the man's wife, and she told him that evening that this man had come in to see me. And to be honest, she didn't really understand what I was saying because I spoke too posh. There was just too many plums down his throat. But he seemed like a really nice guy, and I think he had some good ideas. So please give him 5 or 10 minutes of your time on the Saturday if he comes in. Anyway, fast forward, lo and behold, I walked in. This gentleman was sitting at the desk, and he lit up like a Christmas tree with a big smile because, of course, he'd been told I was coming. And we had a chat for about 20-30 minutes, and the deal was done, as I say. I asked him how much he charged a metre. He gave me a figure. I said, that's a bit low. We'll charge quite a bit more. And he said, you won't get that price. I said, yes, we will. And the deal was done. We had a bit of a handshake, a cup of tea, or a cup of chai, as I would say. And then he said to me, I don't mean it's an insult, if you understand me, but he's a working boy, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, but he was a working boy. And he said, can I give you some advice? I'm not sure if those are the words he gave me, but, you know, he said, and I said, what are those? He said, you need to take those plums out of your mouth. Even my wife can't understand what you're saying. You're just too posh for this area. Oh, and by the way, your suit is beautiful. I think it costs probably a couple of bob, but if I was you, I'd put a pair of jeans on and a t-shirt. Hence, Mr. Paul was born. There we are. And I've always been dressed in blue, by the way. It's always been my favourite colour. Although my grandparents did like to put red tops on me in one little part of my life. Between the age of about 4 and 6, there's a lot of pictures of me with red t-shirts or red polo necks on, that kind of thing. And to be honest, without trying to blow my own trumpet, I think I looked pretty cool with my spiky blonde hair, because I had a lot of hair, and it was very, very straight and very, very spiky, and it really, really was blue. I was the naughtiest, cheekiest little monkey you could ever imagine, and if there was something to monkey around in, something to break, something to steal, Mr. Paul was the man, especially for you. Anyway, we're in Peyia. You may have noticed, here we go, this is Peyia. You've got Ocean Basket on the left-hand side. You've got a few other businesses as well selling you things to eat, and there's a higher business over there. If you were to go and take a left, you'd go into Coral Bay. We're going to take a right because we're going into Peyia. Oh my goodness, the two dads are getting very excited, and I understand that Ali is jumping for joy, and Neil is choking on his salmon or wherever he might be eating now, and he's thinking, oh my goodness, there's no traffic lights in downtown Peyia. There isn't. But guess what, Neil? I have found a special one-way street especially for you, and luckily those boys are going that way and the street is this way. So chomp it all down, boy, chew it up nicely, because otherwise you're going to be regurgitating it right in front of Miss Ali, and I don't think it's a very pleasant thing to see. Oasis is a new coffee shop on the right hand side. We are to the rear of the Philippos mega supermarket. If you want some food, that's the man for you. If you want to go to this restaurant, that's the man for you. I think you're getting the idea. It's a mega store. It sells everything from chairs to deck chairs to your underwear, up and down. Yes, in blue if you want. Sports shoes, trainers, food, Coca-Cola. Unfortunately, it even sells Pepsi. So if your name's Miss Andrea, well, it could be the supermarket for you. This is the lowlands of Peyia. by the way. Kiosk, you got bookies if your name is Lord Dave Jono, you're a bit of a flutter. Let's go and check the price of benzene, shall we? How much is it for this old girl? 137.9 a litre. So what's that? It's about €7.5 a gallon. Whoa, that's expensive. On that note, if you're wondering how the channel is photoed, well, you can photo us if you want, but if you're wondering how the channel is funded, we surely and purely rely on our guys, our superstars. So if you do feel generous now and again, why not click through to our about page where you could consider to buy us a coffee or two or three or as many as you want. To be honest, one is more than enough. If one or two of you do it for us every day, we appreciate that, and it comes from the bottom of our two hearts. If you want to join us as a superstar member, please do. €10 a month, and it's done then. Then we'll do it again. This is my brother asking me, where am I? I've got no doubt. We'll speak to him live. Here we go. Yasu Gumbaru. I'm coming up the main road towards where I think you are. Are you there, are you? Oh, he's giving me the money. What a good man. Was he a happy man? Ooh. Yes. Alright, I'll see you in about 2 minutes. I'm coming up past the stadium now. Alright, see you in a bit. There we go. Live on camera. See, live business on camera. Mr. Paul, what does he do? We've got a body shop and we've got a car mechanic shop. So, we often come to your house. No one else offers this service, by the way. But we come to you. We collect your car and we bring your car back to you. And guess what? It's always washed. Big shout out to the superstar known as Lady Judy Nash, because I remember having a conversation with her. She's got a Range Rover and she takes her Range Rover into downtown Wiltshire Land Rover, and she said to me they don't wash her car and their bills are quite big, as we understand. She was shocked when I told her that if a car comes to service for us, average price 150, 160 euros, like a Nissan Note, but guess what? It always goes back clean. She was shocked and she almost fell off her chair. Big shout out to Julie. We look forward to seeing you again very soon. Shout out to the Viscount Leo, and please a big hello to my friend for the rest of my life. Of course, his name is the one and only Lord Richard, and an absolute legend amongst legends, and a bit of a cryptocurrency freak as well, and a drug dealer and a train driver, all rolled into one. There we are. He's getting in the car, so everything went smoothly. Where's my money? There's my money. Excellent. That's what it's all about. We all need to make that little bit of money, don't we? Let's go for a bit of a wiggle and a waggle up this way and show you how you have to navigate the area around the post office, because there's a bit of big diggering going on and they're slowly moving up the road, and well, pandemonium is coming, we understand that, because as Peyia gets busier and busier as the season moves on, it's going to be absolute gridlock. I remember when Miss Linda H was in town, she couldn't navigate. They were stuck in their villa at the top of Peyia because the road was all dug up. And I think there's a lot of people going to get confused and have to go down these back wiggly waggly roads like we're doing now. So spend half an hour travelling around Peyia and learn some of the back streets that perhaps you didn't even know existed. But look at that for a view. Was he a happy chap, by the way?
He's very happy.
Yeah, good. Excellent.
And they're digging this up.
And now they're digging us up. All the phones are going off today, so he should have been very happy, by the way, because we painted his parking sensors front and rear for free.
Yeah.
Did you notice?
I don't think so.
I don't think he noticed. Yeah, but normally our customers phone us up afterwards. We have a very good relationship with our customers, and we're almost like friends. So I know he's in a rush to go to an airport run, this chap we took the car back for, but we actually colour coded his rear parking sensors because he damaged his rear bumper. There's a little scuff on his front bumper, so we actually did the scuff, and then of course his parking sensors were in black, so we colour coded them to the bumper as well. So he's got a very upmarket looking car now. Now look at this. Thanks Miss Ali, thanks Mr Neil for the £10 yesterday to go and get the car wash. I'm not trying to get £10 out of you again, it's my little joke, but the car's going to need a wash again. Oh my goodness, I like to have a clean car. Feel the car bouncing around. I apologise for the camera work, but you know, this is the temporary road that takes you on the bypass past the main road as you ascend down from Uptown Peyia Village to Midtown Peyia Village. I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you like what you see, hit the like, click, subscribe, perhaps come back. We've a little bit more of the lunacy. If I was you, by the way, I wouldn't follow that sign if you're watching live. Don't go that way. Keep going straight down, and there's a less of a curve, less of a bend, less of a bottleneck. Hence, you'll probably have less of a likelihood of an accident. What am I doing? Turn the left and perhaps have an accident, and then don't forget to phone us up and we'll come and fix your car for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Are we having a big goodbye?
Bye-bye.
There we are. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again very, very soon.